Hi there, and welcome to episode 5 of Artopia 2024. I'm your host, Ayla, and I'm joined by Emily, and today we'll be diving deeper into what ranks Ipswich and the surrounding region such a melting pot of the creative arts.
That's right. On this episode, we get to have a chat with an established art tutor who's been doing it for a decade now, as well as the general manager for the top radio station right here in Ipswich. It's going to be a good one here on Artopia, so don't go anywhere. Joining us today in the studio is an established artist, tutor and creator who has been a cornerstone of the Greater Springfield area since 2014. Please welcome Lana QMech. Lana, welcome. How are you today?
Well, thank you. How are you?
Now, I've got a couple burning questions for you. So, what got you started in your career?
My mum actually got me started in the arts career. She's been doing it for most of her life. So, yeah, and just throughout time, we've sort of just integrated into our business as well. So yeah, she sort of got me started.
What kind of creative outlets do you look after?
I look after the arts and mostly just artists and painting, things like that, as well as music.
Excellent. What advice do you have for any artist trying to get into just any form of the creative arts?
Just find something that you really enjoy. It's as simple as that, yeah.
Excellent. Are there any particular art things that you like to enjoy?
I enjoy painting. I really enjoy painting. And
excellent.
Things like that, yeah.
Now, how do you keep the passion for creative expression alive while you're doing your everyday life?
Just support from friends and family, as well as, when you have a stressful day at work or something, coming back to paint or do whatever you enjoy within the arts is something that I think really boost that up a little bit and keep that interest up.
Yes. You mentioned that your mum kind of got you into the arts. How did she inspire you?
When I was very young, she used to paint these huge murals, and yeah, that really inspired me to want to paint and really do music and art and just express myself that way. So, yeah. Excellent.
Well, thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Now, on the other hand, or rather the other ear, we also got a chance to chat to the manager of the leading Ipswich radio station, David Wiltshire from River 949. Have a look.
My name's David Wiltshire and I'm the General Manager of River 949. We're a commercial radio station servicing the Ipswich area, but our coverage area is a lot bigger than that. So we will broadcast, from Kingaroy in the north. We go down south to sort of the areas down near Boat Desert area, the coast, and then we go west as well, sort of reaching that area around the Toowoomba Plains. So we have a vast coverage area, but our licensed area is primarily Ipswich. I think our radio station does particularly well at being involved with our community, and we do that deliberately. So we will do a lot of things like outside broadcasts where we support, local sporting clubs, or it might be a charitable event, or it might even be a client event where they have an opening of a new store. We like to be out and about in the marketplace, not just in our studios, as often as possible. And I think what happens is the community sees us out in the marketplace and they respect us for that. They know that we're part of the local area. There's several ways. We do a lot of community activity via our website as well. So we have a what's on page for events, and people can post their events for free on that. And it gets a lot of traffic and looks to that site. But the great part about that is that our announcers will pick up on our events from our what's on page and broadcast that live on air. So the community event can get some free publicity. But a lot of the times we'll have events that create a commercial campaign as well. So our FM transmitter is, as I mentioned, very wide-ranging, but we also have a really good platform called iHeartRadio, and that's done very well for us. iHeartRadio platform for us has more audience than any of the other iHeart stations operating in the country. So that particular app and platform is very good, and it spreads our message far and wide. So if you're advertising an event, it gets a bit of a broader audience than you might otherwise have got from just using the FM transmitter. From an event point of view, I think it's important to be able to communicate to as many people as possible, and that's where the radio station comes in. Because we have such a wide audience and a lot of people listening, it just gives your event or community engagement that extra boost. A lot of, as I mentioned, a lot of our clients will actually get an advertising campaign for their event, depending on their budgets. And what we can do in support of those advertising campaigns is have a promotional activity. So that might be a full-blown outside broadcast where the announcers are there on the day, broadcasting live, lots of games, lots of fun. Or it might just be a simple pop-up where we have some signage and our marquees and some games, and a street team member will be out there broadcasting live back to the station. You know, it's all happening here, doing some giveaways, those kind of things. So I think that's just another way that radio can really create a good buzz around those local events. So a lot of our departments are very creatively led departments. So that goes from all the announcers on air to the people that write the ads creatively, and our promotions department as well. So the promotions department here at the radio station get lots of briefs from the community events or from our advertisers, and we have to come up with a fun way of broadcasting that on air or doing some outside activity for them. For example, we had a client, Tangalooma Resorts, and they wanted to do some advertising with us to get people from our area here over to Moreton Bay to use their resort. So from a promotions point of view, we came up with a crazy competition that we called Tangaroomers. And Tangaroomers was getting a couple of listeners on air, and it was like the old Chinese whisper. So we give them a phrase, and it might be, you know, the dolphins are fed by people at Tangalooma Resort, and I had to pass that phrase on to you on the other line, had to pass it on to line 3, line 4, line 5. At the end of the exercise, if they got that right, everyone won a trip to Tangalooma. So just those creative things that we can do here at the radio station that are really important. From the radio station's point of view, we have lots of work experience kids coming through and interns as well. I think that's important just to get a feel for the entire radio station. We have various departments here, as I mentioned, from the announcing side to promotions, to sales, to technical. And it's good for those people to get a bit of a broad understanding of how the station works. And then eventually, if that's the career they want to pursue, then we can help them with that. But if you're at school at the moment, yes, ask about their work experience program, but also we can provide some internships as well. So it's always good to contact ourselves or any radio station and just ask them about that.
Thanks for the catch-up, David. We'll have to grab a coffee next time. And also, a big thank you to Lana QMech from QMech Industries. Hello, my name is Solomon. I also host Artopia. Isn't that cool? Now, I'm sure you're all wondering, Solomon, what else is going on in the great Ipswich area? Well, I'm glad you asked. First up, Spark Ipswich has another After Dark Ipswich exhibition to explore. Glow-in-the-dark and ultraviolet artwork available to view 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. throughout the festival. And a bit of a tip from an expert, best time to check it out is after 5 p.m. It's on until the 14th of July. It's at the Art Time Gallery, fine art supplies. You don't want to miss it. Next, if you ever wanted to get a tattoo without having the burden of the disappointment of your parents, well, now you can learn how to do it yourself on synthetic skin, mind you, at Sink in the Ink, located at the Pump Yard just off of Limestone Street. Starting on the 5th of July, you can get hands-on experience 3 to 5 p.m. until the 10th. And finally, the cult classic returns to Ipswich Civic Centre. It's Mary Poppins, the Broadway Music Festival. From the 11th of July to the 13th, you can experience the magic of the classic 60s film right before your very eyes. If you want to see what else Ipswich has to offer, make sure you check out and discover ipswich.com.au.
What a roller coaster. Art teaching radio and even some of what's going on around us. Who knows what you'll find out here on another episode of Artopia. Make sure to check out Instagram and Facebook, Artopia 2024. From all of us here, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on another Artopia!